We feed them. We feed them.
Yeah. That's for all the haters that say we need a theme song.
We feed them.
Yeah.
We feed them. That's going to be it's going to be all the people that we feed, you know?
Yeah.
I feed everybody.
I feed myself, obviously.
Yeah, sometimes. How you doing, man?
I'm okay. It's we're in the middle of a really extended, it's not really a blizzard, but the temperatures and the snowfall has been pretty extreme lately.
Weather's been wild this past week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been hard to get to work. I mean, I got a 40-minute commute, which most of the time when it's spring, summer, it feels great. You know, I don't mind driving, throw on an album and just kind of
listen to
vibe
podcasts.
out. Yeah, you can go 60, 70, 80, however the fuck fast you want to go, as long as, you know, you're doing your thing. But man, this weather, you can't go 30 miles on the fucking bypass around here.
It's white knuckling.
Yeah, I mean,
The DoorDash drivers are busy.
they got
sure.
it. Yeah, I mean, we've personally at work, we've been getting hit with the to-goes. Like you were saying earlier off camera, it kind of reminds you of COVID times when it was people couldn't leave their house, and now they can't leave their house because for other factors, you know, it's the weather.
Yeah. I like it. I don't like how it affects business because I sense a little bit, sorry, I just moved my bar stool. I sense a little bit that people are staying in and sort of rummaging through their freezers and their cabinets and cooking at home.
Yeah.
So we're getting some DoorDash orders, significantly more DoorDash orders, but it's not enough. And they take a huge chunk anyway. So DoorDash is sort of just a way for me, DoorDash is a way to keep your brand in front of people's faces on one of the most popular apps that almost everybody who likes to eat out has in their pocket. Yeah. And, but there's really not much profitability there. In fact, I would argue that there's a good chance that you're breaking even, and if you're careful, you can lose money no matter how busy you are with DoorDash. But DoorDash has been busy, dine-in has been relatively slow. So that part frustrates me as an operator, but just as a dude, I don't mind this. I don't mind the cold. You know, the heat bill is always cheaper than the electric bill for the air in the summer. So I don't really care. I like it a little bit.
And I mean, sometimes I do, and sometimes I'm just like, man, I'm over this, you know, like I'm ready to go, bro. The one thing that always stands out to me is that when we have negative degree weather and all kinds of crazy snow, it makes you appreciate it a little bit more. Once it gets up to 20 degrees, you're like, hey, it's actually not too bad out here.
Sweating.
And then, you know, eventually it all melts away, and it kind of makes you appreciate what you have, appreciate the outdoors a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to get back out. I keep looking outside because we're talking about outside, but also there's just giant piles of snow from the plows and the shovels, and this is not unusual in northern Indiana, but it's sort of multiplying because it keeps snowing and they keep pushing it, and there's no melts, and usually there's a melt that clears it out and it snows again.
Yeah, and lately when it does get warm enough to melt, it gets super cold the next couple of days. And it also sometimes will rain, and then it makes it even worse because then there's ice everywhere.
I think I'm starting to get ice dams on my roof, and I got to look this up. My dad told me to look out for them, and I need to do them a little more research, but it appears like that there's a big chunk of ice at the edge of my roof. Isn't that an ice dam?
Yeah, I think it might be an insulation issue.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I have vermiculite insulation, which I think is just really old and probably not that effective. I know one thing, I've been up in my attic and the temperature up there is extremely different than what's happening in the rest of the house.
Yeah. I mean, my upstairs is a lot warmer typically. I mean, obviously heat rises, but for our friends around the world and that aren't necessarily familiar with the winters that we get here in the Midwest, they can be pretty brutal. This year has been the most brutal. I think it has been for most of the country. Around here, it's just been the most brutal that it has been in a while.
Yeah.
We always just pray for spring and wait for summer, and then we spend most of our time outdoors, you know. I mean, a lot of us do, just kind of soaking in that sun, and then you get it like a good 6-7 months that you just kind of get stuck in the house. And
man, I really don't mind the winters. It's just like I said, for business, it frustrates me.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind just even going hiking in this. We should, dude. You want to go on a winter hike?
I mean, bundle up, brother.
Yeah, let's do it.
We could.
Yeah. I don't see why not. I've disc golfed in this type of weather before.
Yeah.
So I've been doing I've been doing some Uber Eats deliveries as a delivery person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been trying to do it one night a week, and I had one the other night where we're near Notre Dame University, and there's an area there called Eddy Street Commons, and Eddy Street Commons has, I don't know, 15 restaurants, 20 restaurants. There's a lot.
Sounds about right.
There's a Noodles and Company. There's a Chipotle, a Jimmy John's. There's a lot of these like grab and go type places, and I've known this because in COVID I used to do a lot of Uber Eats driving.
Yeah.
If you get caught up in there, oh my gosh, it's sort of a nightmare.
Traffic.
And I messed up. I accepted a Noodles and Company order, and while I was there, my phone dinged, and it was like, "Do you want to pick up a Jimmy John's order?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess so." But like, well, you have to. There's nowhere to park, so I had to park a block away. It's like 8 degrees, and I'm running out. I'm not running. I'm walking as fast as I can to Noodles and Company. I pick up the order, which is one of those places that when they give you the order, if the customer ordered a drink, you have to fill the drink for them. They won't do it for you, which is frustrating. I do that, and then I go get I'll go out and I'm looking for Jimmy John's, and it's further away from my car. So I decide just to walk to Jimmy John's instead of to my car first, because time is money.
Man,
and so I go to Jimmy John's, and halfway there, the lid pops off of the root beer from Noodles and Company, and I'm just like, what do I do? Like, so I'm trying to figure out like what is the right. Obviously, I picked it up and carried it with me, and when I went into Jimmy John's, I threw it away, and I was like, "Do you guys have a lid that might fit this?" And they did, but I was thinking if they didn't, I might just like buy a cup from them. And could you imagine getting your Noodles and Company order with a Jimmy John's root beer when you ordered Noodles and Company? They'd be like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
But at one point I had 4 orders in my car. It was so busy. It was a Wednesday or Thursday night. It was just busy. It was Thursday night. It was so busy, dude.
When the weather was bad?
It was cold. The weather wasn't bad. I mean, I was driving full speed, but it was pretty cold, I guess. That was the main reason. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. You can, on a night like that, you can say no to a lot of orders because it'll be like, do you want to go to KFC for $4? And you're like, no, I'm good. And I'll go, how about, do you want to go to Jimmy John's for $12? And you go, yeah, that's one I'll do. You
got to weigh out, how far away it is and how much money you're going to
make. Yeah, for sure. You got to be kind of careful. But it was pretty wild. I was like, man, I don't know if I've ever had 4 orders in my car at once. And, I was trying to I could see where somebody could really mess that up.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Yeah. Okay, so you're at Mark F's house. Okay, wait, which one did he order? I'm trying to separate it in my car. One's in the front seat, one's in the trunk, one's in the passenger seat, one's in the car seat. So I'm trying to keep it all separated. And then 2 of the guys were on the same block, which was kind of cool. I wanted to be like, did you know Mark F ordered some Noodles and Company?
Actually, I could bring you down there and we can all eat lunch together.
Oh, and then real quick, the last delivery of the night was to a student on campus. And it's all closed off, and you cannot get onto campus unless you have a key card. And I couldn't get on. This one order took me an hour to actually get it to her. And I'm talking to Uber Eats customer care, and they're like, hey, you're just gonna have to forfeit the order and not get paid. And I'm like, not acceptable. Right. I really want to make sure they get this food. I'm talking to the customer. She can't get me in, and she's also a 5-minute drive from this gate. So finally I get to the other side of the gate, and I ended up just walking it to her. And she met me halfway. But it was this whole mess. Took me an extra hour. And then later, I got the tip. She tipped me $1 and change.
Oh, my gosh. That, dude.
I was so frustrated. I wish I could message her and be like, they had this thing on there as a driver that you could say, just push a button that says, thanks such and such for the tip. And I did it just to hope to remind her, like, you didn't tip me very well. I went way out of my way to take care of you.
Yeah.
Well.
That type of shit happens, I guess. And it's part of being a dasher.
Yeah. I guess her experience is probably like, this sucked. I had to meet him halfway. The order was an hour late. You
got cold food.
But I was like, what do you want me to do? You ordered food onto campus. It's locked down. I can't get onto campus.
She didn't understand
She's in the dorm rooms. I mean, she's a university student. I feel like she probably has some sensibility, but I don't know. Anyways. Well,
things have been good, though. Just been chilling mostly. I mean, it's been nice to have a little reprieve at work, because it has been a little bit slower this past week.
Right.
And that's nice every once in a while, but I like to work hard, and obviously it's good for the business and good for my wallet, the more money that we make. But every once in a while, it's cool to just chill and have a little time to like clean and decompress. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do in my personal life too, just trying to decompress and find time to relax and allow myself to relax.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in the hustle and bustle today, then nowadays, it's hard to actually allow yourself that time. My mind is constantly racing, and I'm always trying to think about like, what's the next thing that I'm going to do? Like, you know, as far as my career or this podcast, and every once in a while I just have to tell myself, no, you know what, today I can just shut my brain off and melt away for a minute and just kind of exist as a person and not have to worry about all that pressure.
Yeah, don't be afraid to take a day off, like on your day off, you know?
Right.
I don't mean call off. I just mean, don't be afraid to take advantage of your day off.
Right. All right.
Or every slow. I mean, I want business to be busy no matter what, but I can sometimes sense when my staff has had enough. And even for them, I'm like, okay, we need a slow day before somebody walks out on me or something.
I heard we have some viewer questions today.
Yeah, so we would love to get, we realize this is something that's going to take a little more time once we get more viewers, but I just shot a little thing out there today just to get a few viewer questions and just see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah,
so we got 3.
We're getting some great viewership, some great commentary so far, and we love it. We encourage it, and you know what? If you have anything that you want to say or any questions you want to ask, what would be the best way to do that there, Sean?
I think just messaging on Facebook is probably the best because that's what I see the most. But if you message us on Instagram, I should likely see it. Or I would just do it in the comments too. If it's something, occasionally we have content that's going sort of viral and your comments might get lost. We do our best to get into all of those. But if there's hundreds, it's kind of difficult. But if you see content that's not getting a lot of traction, comment on that because it's more likely that I'll see it. I'm not saying that just to like to try to push that content. It's just, if there's a reel that I haven't had any comments on, it's more likely that I'll see that.
Yeah.
So
I'm going through and I'm reading the Instagram and YouTube specifically. I don't do Facebook personally, but I mean,
Facebook's not a lot going on.
However, you know, I'm out there looking at your comments and I'm responding on Instagram a lot of the time too. But if you have something larger or something that you would like us to address, definitely put it out there. We're always looking for your commentary and let's get it going.
I think I'm just gonna try to shoot sort of like kind of fish for them. Like today I just posted, hey, we're recording in an hour. It'll air in 2 weeks. Do you want to ask us any questions? And so we had some.
All right.
So we got 3. We got more, but some of them were the same person. So I selected my favorite of their questions, basically.
Sweet.
So, okay, Eric asks, is chili soup?
Actually, we're about to get into that.
No way.
Because, the bracket today is soup.
Okay.
And I put chili on there because I believe that, it's pretty much the same kind of principle when you're making a soup as when you're making.
So we're doing a chopping block today, and it was soup. Yep. That's pretty crazy. I don't know. Did you tell Eric that?
No. I guess.
Well, he had a follow-up question. Should we get into that, or should we?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, let's just say yes or no, I guess.
I agree. Chili is soup. What do you think?
I think chili is soup too. That's my instinct. I haven't really. I wanted to sort of Google what is the argument against it.
Right.
There were some comments disputing that in that post, and I saw some people. It was like, well, I think somebody said maybe you could consider it sauce instead of soup, but I don't know. I would say chili is soup.
You can make a chili sauce.
What defines soup?
You can make a chili sauce if you reduce the shit out of it, and that
really chili is
something that you're more
pepper.
Yeah. Chili can be different things, like it can be more soupy, it can be thicker. Like there's different ways you can go with it, but in my mind, it all boils down to, no pun intended.
Don't boil your chili.
Yeah, no, it all comes down to what's the process that makes this and how it turns out. And I think the process that you use to make chili is pretty much the process.
Well, I think you eat it like soup. You put it in a soup bowl typically, or a soup cup, and you eat it with a spoon. And I just can't see what the argument against it. I guess there's different forms. Like I know it's an Ohio thing. I don't even know if it's real or if it's sort of like a joke, but they put it on spaghetti. Chili mac is awesome. Yeah. Even the one in a can. I love that shit, dude.
What's the follow-up?
So he had a follow-up question just because I responded, and I think I said in the comments, like, I think it's soup. And he responded that he had been in a debate about this before. Really? And one of the other questions that came up is cereal soup?
What?
Well, think about it.
How do you cook cereal?
Cereal comes dried in a bag or in a bag.
Cereal is its own thing. Cereal is just
okay. But once you add milk to your cereal, are we looking at soup?
No, I don't.
Is it a gazpacho?
No, it's just milk. Milk is not soup.
Well, I think that most
It's
people would
milk
say
and wheat or grain.
most people would say it's not soup. But
Yeah,
if you think about it, you
silly.
can see the argument of like, okay, I just said you put chili in a bowl, you eat it with a spoon. That's pretty soupy. So how could cereal? I mean,
Like I said, it comes down to how you prepare it, and I don't think that when you prepare.
how could you prepare
cereal-
soup that would make you? I'm sorry. How could I prepare cereal for you that you would go, this is soup?
Man, it'd probably make it really gross.
Like really, really runny oatmeal. Is that soup?
Is oatmeal soup?
I like my oatmeal. No, I think oatmeal's too thick to be considered soup. But then I guess that's maybe where chili gets. Anyways, something to think about. I think that's funny. Let us know what you guys think. I guess that was like something that's a fun argument.
I think oatmeal is closer to soup than cereal, but I don't think either of them are soup.
I could really see cereal debating well as a soup.
All right, man.
But I don't recognize it as soup typically.
You know what? Cereal can identify as it whatever it wants to.
All right, Kyle says, is lasagna closer related to cake or casserole?
Casserole.
Yeah, I felt like
Cake,
casserole.
come on.
I think he had a little bit of an argument. I didn't write it down, but it was something that it's layers, it's baked and it's layers. But casserole doesn't have layers. Cake does. Maybe that's what the deal was.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a cakey casserole, but
It's a savory casserole.
yeah, cake to me is
A casserole is typically savory. It's a savory cake.
yeah.
No, dude, cake has to be made with batter, dude, and not pasta dough with tomato sauce and cheese. It's not cake.
You could probably make a lasagna cake if you really wanted to in some way, but it would be really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see an argument for lasagna being cake.
Yeah.
He asked another question, but I forgot what it was. But that was the one that I thought was kind of silly, and I don't know. I just typed it out.
It's funny.
Bruce, this wasn't a question. He just used 2 words, but I could formulate a question, but I'll quote him exactly. Annoying substitutions.
Annoying substitution.
Actually, he had another question too. He asked, basically, what are some annoying substitutions in a restaurant? And he also asked, do chefs share recipes with one another? Like even if it sort of sense to like even if they're maybe competing, or if they're in a competing space, you know?
Yeah, sometimes privately, especially if you are working with the chef or you guys work together. I mean, obviously you're kind of using the same recipes, but I've had some recipes that I've gotten from chefs in the past that, I mean, I still stick with. One that stands out to me as a great pickle recipe that I found from an old chef, that it was his granddad's pickle recipe that had just been passed down, and he kind of let me know the exact vinegar water ratio, and kind of the things that the steps, the process. And there are things like that, I believe, even if you're competing, sometimes maybe you kind of hip each other out to things, but you don't share your exact recipe.
Yeah, I would say I don't think a lot of places you're not going to ask a neighboring, or I can't think of many times that I asked somebody for a recipe. I will say, for me personally, I have Jamie, who's been on the podcast. I think it was the 3rd episode, Jamie Amador. I worked for him for a very long time, and my recipe started to sort of emulate his, I think just by being shoulder to shoulder for so many years.
Yeah.
And because he introduced me to so many recipes that, I don't know, as I wrote, he emphasized writing my own. So as I wrote my own, they sort of started to take on his style.
Right.
His are much better fleshed out. They're much more fleshed out, and you can just tell there's a lot more thought put into them. But when I opened this restaurant, there were some things that I reached out to him and I go, hey, I'm gonna make ranch from scratch here, and it's probably gonna taste a lot like yours. I don't remember your recipe, but you kind of taught me how to make ranch in a certain way, and I think that that's the way to do it. And so it's probably gonna taste a lot like yours. Will you just give me your recipe? And so I don't know, I guess it's the same. I don't know, it was kind of a weird thing. And so he sent it to me, and I didn't use that exact recipe. I just looked at it and thought, okay, these are the ratios, the vinegar to mayo and buttermilk, and I can't disclose much more, but.
I think that there are certain recipes that guys hold near and dear to their heart when they've written them.
Yeah.
And there are other ones that you base it off of something that you found online or somebody else's recipe, and you kind of tweak things, you modify things, and you make it your own.
Or something you did somewhere else too.
And I think that that's a little bit easier to share for us. But then when you get to a point where you're like, this is something that I've honed in over years, and every time that I make this, whatever it is, I do a little something different to it, and it makes it a little bit better. And I've been crafting this recipe.
Yeah.
Those are the recipes that you don't really want to share. You just you want to let people experience it as you make it.
Yeah. I think, not to keep going back to Jamie, but I think that he's the only person that comes to mind about sharing recipes because I recently was having issues with the recipe. So I shared it with him to see if he could fix it. And then he brought some prototypes back to me. And And he came up with something that I ended up not using ultimately because it sort of became too much of a project. But when neighboring restaurants, when the kitchen staff or even bartenders or whatever, well, I don't know so much about the bartenders, but when they talk to each other and they ask for help, it's usually not, can you tell me how you made this? It's usually, where are you sourcing this? Or can I borrow something like sugar or something that is easy to help with? And I've never been met with resistance. I mean, when I worked downtown Elkhart, there was a brand new restaurant that opened right next door that had sort of like a threatening position in our minds at the time when it opened. And I think in their first 6 months, I called them and asked for ice when our ice machine went down, and they invited me over for ice. And just recently, somebody neighboring here asked me for some fryer oil, and I gave them what I had that I could spare. And there's a little bar over here that we've ran for sugar before, and you just do those types of things. That's really common, and it's really cool because it's just community.
Right. Yeah. As far as the other part of that question of annoying substitutions.
Oh yeah.
I think well, I'll put it this way. Yeah. If you're going out to eat and you want to be less annoying, find something on the menu that you generally like. And if there's something that you don't want on it, or there's some kind of allergy, I would try to stay away from it if there is an allergy, because you never know when something's going to be cross-contaminated. Yeah. However, if it's something you just don't have a preference for, you could say, hey, I don't want that, and that's fine. You know, if I'm cooking and there's no this, that, or the other, it just makes my job a little bit easier. But once you start getting to the point where you're making me go out of my way to cook a whole different dish that's not on the menu, I mean, it's frustrating in two ways. One is that if you're at a place where they do pride themselves on the menu and the chef crafted this menu, when you're making substitutions and you're trying to make your own menu, that's a little bit insulting to the people that are making your food. Yeah. The other way is, like, obviously when you're in the middle of when you're in the middle of busy service and something comes through that's like, hey, you just have to saute this one dish specifically that has nothing to do with, because when you're, some people don't understand when they go out to eat, when you're in the middle of cooking, you're kind of adding up everything you have. So you say, I have 4 of these dishes that I need to make, and you're making things kind of in bulk batches, you know? Mm-hmm. So for somebody to make some kind of substitution like that, it's like you're going out of your way to do this extra thing for somebody that's may not be appreciative of it, but they also, I mean, you're not getting anything more out of this, you know, other than just kind of maybe making a loyal customer.
Yeah, I'm with you. What are the 3 primary colors? What are they? Are they red? Is it red?
Red, yellow, and blue.
Red, yellow, blue.
Yeah.
So think of it this way. You have red, yellow, and blue, and you ask 100 people what color they want, and like 3 of them ask for green.
Right.
And you're just like, yes, I can make green, but okay, that's fine. It just throws you off a little bit. Yeah. So, like, to your point, you know.
You're like, I got 50 blues going out. I got 37 yellows, and then some of these yellows are a little different, you know. I already got to change that. And
this one wants a light blue. What the hell?
Yeah. Was it cyan?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just, I would say we try for me, I try very much to not be frustrated with special requests. I try not to be frustrated with allergies. I have an allergy, and I hate telling them, I hate telling my server, hey, could you see if this has dairy in it? I do my best to dissect the menu myself, or I have a dairy allergy. I hate doing that. So I totally understand that it's a necessity for people, and they deserve to go out to eat, and they're just going to go to the place that makes them feel the most like they're not a loser for having something they can't
Right.
control. But that being said, it's still pretty fucking annoying when somebody has an allergy. Like
Yeah, I mean,
it's annoying to that customer. Like I bet you that you're kind of annoyed that you have this allergy for the most part, and it's just annoying in the kitchen. And some people are mad about it. I don't take that position. I take it as it's an inconvenience, but I'm not mad at you about it.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just inconvenient, and I wish that humans didn't have to have these.
Yeah. I do my best to not be frustrated, especially at work, just in general, and just be understanding and empathetic towards people. And I am like, if somebody comes into a restaurant that I'm working at and they want something special, I'm going to do it regardless. And I might mutter under my breath if it's super busy, like, fuckers, you know, but other than that, I will do it, and I'll do it as well as I can, because I mean, ultimately that's what we're here for. We're feeding them.
Yeah. I want to add just another little thing that I know we've both dealt with before is when somebody comes and says, hey, will you just make me something special that isn't on the menu?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have so many mixed feelings about that, because I typically end up taking pride in that dish and doing my best because I want to impress them. And sometimes I actually enjoy it, but there have been times where I don't know the person. And I think that's usually when it frustrates me, is when I don't know them and they're like, impress me,
Yeah.
cook boy. And there's something about it that kind of gets under my skin. But when it's somebody that I know, or when I'm slow, I actually appreciate the challenge. So I have really weird mixed feelings about that. But that is one of those requests that it is an emotional response, whether it's good or bad. I've never seen a cook just totally mundane about it. They're like,
I got that more as a bartender, and I thought,
oh, yeah.
I always thought it was cool.
I've done that to you.
Yeah.
I have.
I had a couple in the chamber back when I was actively bartending. I haven't for a while, but that I would just fire off if it was busy and somebody was like, I don't really know what I want, something sweet or something that goes this way. And there were a couple that I would keep in rotation. I'd just be like, okay, I'm just gonna make them this, you know. But it's kind of cool when it's slow. You look at the back bar and you kind of get the gears turning, and you say, hey, I wonder if this, and you try a little bit for yourself, especially if it's somebody that is kind of a connoisseur of cocktails or an aficionado that has tried a lot. Just to get a little bit of feedback off of that.
I would say sometimes also that's exciting, because you'd be like, somebody would go, can you just make me something special? Dude, I'm working on a new menu.
Yeah.
Yes, please, will you taste this? Because I've been losing sleep trying to figure out if this is gonna work.
And if you do it and you impress them, they'll be back for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Right, they're giving an opportunity to make a pretty permanent connection.
Yeah.
So, that's a good question. Bruce, good question. Eric, good question. Kyle, screw you, dude.
Love
Just
you
kidding.
guys,
I know
except for
Kyle.
Kyle.
Well, I know all of you guys that asked that question, and I appreciate all of your input. And keep them coming, because that was fun. That was fun to kind of discuss those. And we plan for these episodes, so having somebody else just throw something in there can kind of help us be a little more sporadic. We're just going to do a quick little podcast update. If you are listening or watching, at this point, you're basically a founding member of this community and this conversation. So first of all, thank you. Where we're at, we're seeing pretty constant growth on our audio downloads. Every single week, our day one downloads go up from the last week, and then it continues to grow. And we look again for the next week, it continues to grow. And just the numbers, like we look at day one downloads and then first month downloads. And so some of them, like the one that came out last week, we can't look at first month downloads yet, but it's trending up. So it's a really positive sign. And we're also starting to see downloads in parts of the country where we certainly don't know anybody. And we mentioned this in maybe 2 episodes ago, that we're getting traction in New York City. That's pretty unique. Yeah. We're seeing it in Georgia and Illinois, and we're in Indiana. We know people in Michigan. We see a lot of traction there. We assume that we might know some of you. We're seeing it in Florida. We know some people in Texas. We're seeing it there. We're seeing it in California. We're seeing it in Canada, and we're starting to see it in the UK. That's pretty cool. We're excited to see that. And that's just with the downloads. When we get to our YouTube videos, and if you're listening and don't know, we are constantly releasing clips and full-length episodes on YouTube. They come out the same time the audio does. We're seeing people from all over the country and all over the world, obviously mostly English-speaking, Some of the stuff we're doing on Instagram is translating to Spanish and
Really?
Portuguese, which is really funny.
That's crazy.
It's like AI.
You
It
sent
changes,
that
like,
to me once. Yeah, and
it's
it was
really cool.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah.
So what can you do to help support us? Nothing really. If you enjoy this, just keep going.
There is something you can do. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Share. If you know somebody, if you're working in a kitchen, I don't know, dude, just tell them about us if you think that if it's something they're going to like.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
we're growing.
Keep sharing and keep providing comments and likes. All that stuff helps. It not only helps us see where we're at, but I mean, like I said, we're building, like you said, we're building a community and you guys are all part of it. I love being a part of this community with you guys. It's been wondrous and it's something that we've always aspired for. We're looking to make the community as vast as possible and try to reach out and eventually, hopefully, we can start helping out and giving back too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely have goals of some charitable goals.
So,
but we have no revenue really going so far unless you start buying them SNIBBS.
SNIBBS, bro.
SNIBBS.co/we feed them, get $20 off.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you're just listening, you just like throwing this podcast on in the background while you're cleaning or something, you know, or I mean, shit, listen to it at work.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. We love you. And thank you guys for making this podcast what it is, because really it's all of this. You guys kind of showing us where we're going and providing feedback that's keeping us going. And we're going to keep making content as long as people are looking for it.
Yeah.
So
in a way, we're trying to tell your story. This isn't like, I know that you hear a lot about our experiences because that's what we can share, but we really have this overarching goal to just have industry folks' stories told. And so that's why we keep trying to have guests and we keep trying to have, I don't know, just different perspective. But we had a video on Instagram do, at this point, I think right now at recording, it's at almost 400,000 views.
Jeez.
And it was something that my nephew who works for me in the kitchen told me about. And I just made a little video. I was like, look at this shit that I just saw. And you guys lost your mind. And our Instagram page gained so many followers. And so if you're here because of that, sick. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome. And thanks for the support. But anyways, I just wanted to update and things are moving in a positive direction and it's because of you. And we hope that, I don't know, I guess we just hope that this is maybe a little bit arrogant, but we kind of hope that we can be a voice. We can just sort of be a voice for the industry in a sense. Like we can just make space for the line cooks, bartenders, servers, farmers, like everybody in the food industry. I know that there's attention on it in certain aspects, but
realistically, it's just like you and I, us, like as a collective, not just me and Sean, but everybody as a collective, it feels good to have representation. And it's something that I've always sought out, you know, like before we started this podcast, I always wished that there was something like this that I could go to and I could become a community or become part of a community rather.
Yeah. Or at least hear some dudes talk about it and know that I'm not crazy.
I think if we get enough of a base and enough demand, we should consider starting a Discord page, Reddit, these type of things, you know, and just kind of expanding even more to where we can interact with everybody.
So yeah, there's that. That's it. So we're going to do a chopping block.
Chopping block.
I don't remember. We had this little goofy song.
Chopping block. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, chopping block. It's the bracket, you guys. And what is today's bracket? Well, it's been so friggin' cold out. I decided that our bracket would be soup.
Soup.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. I love a good soup. It's got everything that you need. A lot of times, just the fresh vegetables and that fresh protein is just, it really does you well. And especially in the wintertime, like it's a staple in the Midwest.
I've been making soup at home and I'm so excited the kids actually are happy when there's soup because it's not necessarily easy, but it's sort of easy. Like you can make time to start cooking at noon for dinner.
You can
can just kind of handle your timing and make sure it's ready at 6 or 7.
Right, and you can make a giant batch and kind of have some for the week, have some for the family, freeze some, give some to your coworkers. Like soup is just soup is life, bro.
We sort of have this tradition that is unintentional, but when we do the chopping block, as soon as you tell me I don't know until this moment. Well, we mentioned a little bit earlier, but I don't know until this day when we start recording what the subject is going to be, and I feel like I always tell you what I think my favorite is without actually digging in.
So what would be your favorite off the top of your head?
Well, God, that okay.
Whatever you made last.
Well, I want to say, it's very close. Mine would be chicken noodle soup or split pea. So I'm just gonna say split pea.
Well, there are a couple of soups on here that I tried to put at the lower ranking because they contain dairy, and I'm sure it's not going to go anywhere.
That's okay. No, it's all right.
But
I will judge it as a non-lactose intolerant person. I know what these things taste like. I've cooked them, and yeah.
All right. So the first one we got is the almighty chili.
Yeah.
Versus broccoli cheddar.
Is chili soup, first of all? That's the question that we've already come up with. So if it is, then here it is. Chili beats broccoli cheddar. I think that everybody likes broccoli cheddar. I don't think people...
Nobody's having broccoli cheddar cook-offs.
Yeah. No, right. It's not even... Chili has a culture behind it.
Oh, man. It's going to go far in this bracket, I already know.
You know, I remember I was watching while we were editing one. There was one point, you were like, A or B? And I was like, I don't even like B, but I'll just choose it because I hate A. And then later on, B almost won. So sometimes I change my mind halfway through.
All right, next up, these are almost kind of similar. Chicken noodle and, how you pronounce it, minestrone?
Oh, chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, I mean.
Minestrone's cute.
It is, yeah, minestrone is basically just a vegetable soup.
I've never ordered it in a restaurant in my life.
Okay.
I've made it, and I've
chicken
sold
noodle
it.
is, I mean, obviously, it's got to be
chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup for the fucking soul.
Yeah, we're in the U.S. of A.
Yeah, here you go. Let's talk about some minestrone.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, what is this? Oh, get out of here. All right. Next up, split pea soup or split pea and ham is what I've listed it as, because normally when I do split pea soup, I add ham.
Sure.
Or clam chowder.
Ooh, that's a good competition. A good clam chowder is really good. And it's a bit heartier, and split pea is very hearty. Split pea and ham, but I would say clam chowder is a bit heartier. I still have to, for me personally, I still have to go split pea and ham. I think the masses would go clam chowder. I think both of those are love or hate soups.
I'll go split pea and ham. I think if you live closer to the ocean, maybe you have a different view on clam chowder. For me, like, the best clam chowder that I've had here in the Midwest is fine. But I think if you're getting them fresh clams, it's got to be something different if you're living out in New England.
Yeah. I wonder if they're using fresh clams in those restaurants in New England. I mean, feel
maybe.
Like
I don't know.
There's some things that they're using.
Tell us if you're from that area.
I mean, you're getting clams in, you're opening them up and removing the meat and making soup with it.
I mean, that would be delicious.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never worked out there. Somebody told me once that the Midwest is a culinary wasteland, and so maybe I'm a product of that.
We got venison out here. Venison is on point.
Yeah, we do have a lot of venison.
Okay.
Not usually in restaurants, surprisingly.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's a home experience.
It's gamey. I think it's polarizing.
Well, it doesn't fit well into the logistics of food.
That too.
The food purveyors, I think.
That's true. All right, gumbo or beef stew?
Is gumbo soup?
I would have to say, if chili soup, gumbo.
I would say gumbo is less soup than chili.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just, you could serve gumbo as an entree, and it's like, I mean, I worked at a place where we had a gumbo entree, and you would put rice on the bowl. You would put rice in the bottom of the bowl, and then pour gumbo over the top, and then put garlic bread and a skewer, maybe 2 skewers of grilled shrimp on top. It was actually very nice.
Hell yeah.
It was pretty good, and that gumbo was really nice. But you hold it in a steam table. Typically, gumbo is, well, I don't know. I've never been in New Orleans. Gumbo or beef stew? Gumbo. Yeah. Beef stew is good when it's done good. I just try to make beef and barley at home, and I kind of missed the mark. So maybe I got a bias right now.
All right. Well, coming up on one of my favorites here, French onion soup versus white chicken chili. Actually, I like both of those options. I know it's kind of dairy for you. I mean, French onion, to me,
I assume we're getting this with cheese on top.
Gotta be, dude.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, obviously you would skip the cheese, but man, that melted, fucking stick that shit in the oven, bro. Oh my God.
Easy, man. You're getting too
Sorry,
excited.
yeah, I'm getting actually, I think I might go home and make some French onion soup, bro.
I think that French onion soup is impressive. It's an impressive feat. I would pick French onion soup. I've never had it with a lot of these. Like I've had white chicken chili, I've had clam chowder. I've tasted it. I've made French onion a bazillion fucking times in my life. I've never actually tasted it with the cheese on top because it's such a, like, I don't need to know the French onion is good.
Yeah.
And I can, like, that part doesn't change. You can't tweak it depending on the place. If it's going to be crostinis with Gruyere toasted on top, or if it's going to be like a pub might just throw some fucking,
To me, the cheese
what
is
do you
just
call those, croutons and some fucking Swiss on top or something.
yeah. To me, the cheese is just part of the experience, though. You know.
But you can't tweak those, so I've never tried that
Oh
part.
yeah.
But you could tweak the soup, and I've made it a lot. The first time I had it, I was really surprised at that this works. I was watching a Julia Child recipe the other day, and she was making onion and leek soup, maybe with potatoes. But anyways, it was very simple, and she just kept saying like, "Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so good." And I was like, "Man, I might make that." And I wonder if it's as good as that, because French onion is, it's complex, but it really is. It's still simple.
Yeah, it just takes some finesse. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. It takes some finesse. French onion soup wins that one for sure.
Next up, we got lobster bisque and gazpacho, just traditional,
Well,
probably tomato based.
I've never been a fan of gazpacho. I guess I've liked some interpretations where something wild's kind of going on, and I'm excited about it, but I'm not enough to be like, oh, I'll eat a bunch of that. It's just more maybe a gazpacho shooter at a banquet or something like that. I would go with lobster bisque.
Lobster bisque.
Which is good. Lobster bisque is good.
Yeah, I prefer a hot soup. So, I mean, this next one is pho, Vietnamese.
Are you going, that's a soup?
I mean, that's what I was going to say. Oh, this one is almost debatable as to whether or not pho is a soup, but
All right.
it's more of a broth.
That's okay. I think that
You add all the things into it. It's
Yeah.
pretty soup-esque.
yeah.
I'm going to say pho versus sausage lentil.
Sausage lentil.
Yeah.
Well, I like sausage lentil raises my eyebrow. Is that I don't know if there's, like all of these so far, I can think of what a baseline traditional gumbo or split pea or chili would be, and they all have interpretations. Sausage lentil, I'm not sure that I can think of what the baseline would be. I can imagine it a little bit, but I don't think I've ever had it.
You never had a lentil soup? Or
I don't think I have.
Man.
I've made lentils.
It's pretty good.
Usually as a side, or from, like, I've done like some curries and stuff with some lentil in the dish. Sausage lentil. What was the other one? Oh yeah, I'll go sausage lentil. I think that's intriguing.
All right.
And I have lentils at home and I have sausage at home, so I'm starting
You
to
should
think.
make some, yeah.
I'm starting to think.
You know what? Actually, I think I do too. Yeah. Man, I'm making
I remember making lentils for the kids and they liked it, and that's one of those moments where you're like, hey, cooking for kids is tougher than cooking for anybody.
Did I just mark my nose with a pen? Felt like I did.
No.
Oh.
Cooking for kids is tougher than cooking for almost anybody. And it's been one of the greatest challenges of my life.
I mean,
And as far as cooking goes. And I made lentils one time, and I think I did like coconut curry lentils.
but it
And
is.
the kids liked it.
I was gonna say it's cool to introduce your kid to something new that they'd never tried before, and they actually love
It's
it. you
scary
know?
though,
Yeah,
because you might end up with a lot of leftovers.
it's a dice roll. Next up, we got the classic traditional tomato soup versus potato leek.
Hey,
Yeah.
Julia Child. And that's crazy because I've not had the potato leek. I can imagine it. I love the flavor of leeks. It's so deep. Tomato soup is too classic. Tomato soup for me. Well, it seems like it's pretty much what I'm choosing is what's moving on to the next round.
Yeah, that's the way I'm doing it. I mean, that's the way it's always been done here. But yeah, I'll just say this: I think potato leek and tomato are two completely different avenues. Tomato is obviously more acidic. Potato leek, you kind of got the creaminess going on.
Yeah.
Potato leek soup is, when it's done right, is phenomenal.
I could
But
imagine that.
it is hard to beat traditional tomato, especially, get a grilled cheese and
Yeah,
man,
there's just
I'm
something.
7 years old again, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that shit just
Yep.
hits. All right, next. So we're wrapping back around here. We got the what does it say? Elite 8 chili and chicken noodle.
God, that is tough, dude. Chili or chicken noodle? Can we come back to it?
Yep. Next up, split pea and ham or gumbo.
God, that is tough, man. I mean, gumbo is so good. I'll tell you, I love some smoked sausage, my dude.
I'm going gumbo, bro. Like split pea and ham is, I mean, that shit hits.
I have to remove from my mind the burden of cooking it.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I think there's a little bit, I'm giving a little bit of credit to the ease of making split pea and ham is very easy to make.
Yeah.
I mean, like, very fucking easy to make.
Gumbo's a craft.
And gumbo takes time.
It's like chili.
And so I have to imagine that you're preparing it for me. If I'm at your house and you ask me which one I'd rather have, I will take the gumbo. I'm so sorry.
Hold up, wait a minute.
I'm so
Let
sorry,
me
split
put
pea.
some seasoning in my gumbo.
Yeah.
Is it J-Rock? Oh man.
God, that's tough, dude. That's the marker from now on. You're offering me something you've already made, and
Yeah.
I didn't have to prepare anything. Let's go back to chili and chicken noodle soup.
Chili and chicken noodle.
Chili.
Chili.
Yeah. That's crazy because I said chicken noodle soup and split pea were my top two, and I've already taken them out.
Chili to me is almost undefeatable. Like it's got everything you need, man.
Dude, chili versus gumbo, I'm already kind of freaking out. Let's go to the next two.
French onion and lobster bisque.
Well, okay. Dude, if I went to your house and you made lobster bisque, I would try to. Bro, taking French onion out of the race is crazy, though. Lobster bisque.
Oh my gosh, the upset. I would probably
That is
say
an upset.
I would say French onion, but
That's an upset. I understand.
if you have like the perfect version of both and you're taking it out of the equation,
Somebody's made it
cooking
for you
Yeah.
at their house.
If you went to a fine dining establishment and that was the two soups that they had on,
I'd take the lobster bisque still, I think, because that might come out with a fucking lobster tail on it and some
oh man.
chili oil and
All right, then we got lentil, sausage lentil, and tomato soup.
I'll take a sausage lentil. Tomatoes get kicked pretty quick, honestly.
Yeah.
If you're like, do you want some tomato soup? If
pretty
I'm
basic.
hungry and you offer me tomato soup at your house, I'm like, nah, bro.
You got Campbell's.
And it's just crazy because it is a classic and I do love it and I did vote it to this round. But at this level, it's removable
The
very easily.
final four.
The final four.
Should we switch it up, going or are we going chili and gumbo? What do you think?
Let's just
Yeah.
follow the
Let's
map.
follow it out. Chili versus gumbo, bro.
Gumbo.
Gumbo. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna have to agree, honestly.
Yeah, dude, gumbo. I just keep thinking about smoked
Like
sausage.
I said, man, gumbo is an art,
Yeah. It's the only soup that uses filet also, I think.
Yeah.
Which is, a lot of these share similar, well, they're all very different, but they share some similar baselines
Yeah.
that, like, more common seasonings. If you're making gumbo, you might have to go out and grab some filet.
Okra is also,
And okra.
you need
yeah.
okra in gumbo, and I don't think it's
Yeah,
used
you definitely
very much
need
in
okra.
others, but
Yeah. Yeah, gumbo is, boy, I love some gumbo.
so how deep do you do your brew?
As deep as I can. Like I would make it, you need a little bit of patience to get a good, proper dark roux.
Yeah.
I don't really have that much patience. Well, I don't know. There was a restaurant that I told you we served that gumbo entree.
Yeah.
I think we made it pretty good gumbo there, but we've talked about roux before. I would make the roux separate, and I still almost always make the roux separate.
Yeah, you just
and
kind of
add
store
later.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but even then I would know the amount of roux I needed, and I would make it separate in a 12-inch saute pan and cook it down while I was making the gumbo in a pot. And then I would get it up to a simmer and then whisk that dark roux in, and it still have the same effect.
Yeah, we've talked about this before because usually when I make soup at home, I do it all in one pot.
Yeah.
And I make the roux as the base, and then I add everything on top of the roux.
Yeah, I don't like that. I've never liked that because I just feel like roux starts to tangle things up and you lose a little bit of control in the pot.
Yeah, I think that maybe I should try it your way next time that I make gumbo.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, see how it goes. But if I'm making a gumbo, I'll take it as dark as I can, and it's mostly just about how patient I am because I know I can get it. You know,
Much
you want to
time
start
have,
you
yeah.
want to start smelling. You want to start smelling the popcorn
Yeah.
with dark roux. You want to start smelling the popcorn. That's when you know you're getting somewhere, and
Or
then
you're
you want
having
to
a stroke.
start sensing that the popcorn is starting to burn,
Yeah.
and then lower your heat from there, and then really baby it and get it darker and darker. It should look like this bar, which is pretty dark, and the deeper you can get that, the more your roux gets, or the more your gumbo is going to take on that character. As long as you get past the blonde roux, I'm not upset. I mean, we're in Indiana, but
Right.
yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
All right, then we got lobster bisque and sausage lentil.
You got me excited. Well, gumbo's going to win,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter at this point.
Gumbo is the winner.
Gumbo wins, but I would say sausage lentil is still the one that I'm gonna take in that.
I think
so it's gonna be
you got sausage on the mind, man, but
yeah.
know what?
Well, those are different sausages, I assume.
Yeah,
Sausage lentil sounded like ground sausage to me,
yeah.
and gumbo is your smoked sausage sliced. Well, it's gonna be andouille.
I think the top two on here are chili and gumbo. I think we nailed that.
I remember when I used to make gumbo, I would chop off like 4 inches of the andouille and just throw that shit on the broiler while I was cooking and stuff. And then later I'd be
snack.
like, yeah. Oh man, I love some good hot sausage.
All right.
The best, and this is not soup. Gumbo's not soup.
Okay. Well, then if it's not gumbo, then it would have to be what? Chili versus lentil? I would say, well, it is chili soup. I think the third runner-up would be chicken noodle.
The gumbo, it depends. I think, you know what? You can serve gumbo as soup, but you can also serve it as a non-soup entree.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, but still gumbo.
What if it was chicken noodle versus lentil? I mean,
chicken noodle soup, and I'm thinking about my grandmother's chicken noodle soup, and she just did it proper. I mean, you can imagine, you just carcass of a chicken and go from there.
Yeah.
Egg noodles.
To me, I mean, if you're out there listening and you're looking for a good soup, and I've said this before, but it bears repeating, it all comes down to the stock.
Yeah.
You make yourself a great, I mean, even if it's just a vegetable stock, but I mean, if you can get a good beef stock or a good chicken stock homemade, it takes a while, it takes patience. But that's one thing that I learned working in a nice restaurant that, I mean, we would use the stock in everything, you know, but soup especially.
Yeah, there's a stock every day. There's a stock on the stove.
Yeah.
You got your beef. You're usually making beef, chicken, vegetable stocks, and at times you're making pork, at least in my experiences.
Yeah, yeah. We would bring in whole chickens from, what was that, Miller, I think we went through, which is a local out of Goshen, Indiana. Bring in whole chickens, then we would break the chickens down, we would save the carcasses, and throw it into a pot, and overnight we would let it go at the lowest setting on the burner that you could. Just let that shit simmer, and then we would come in the morning when we were doing our prep. You have a lot of onion carcasses, ends off of, you know.
Onion carcass.
Yeah.
We're having lighting issues right now. Sorry, guys.
Flickering. The ghosts are here. But
it's the winter's storm.
Ends of carrots, shreddings, little things that you kind of collect, and then you're throwing it into your stock all day. And by the end of it, you just have this perfect, I mean, and not only does it taste amazing, it's got all the right things in it for your body.
I remember the place that we made the gumbo, actually, we would also make seafood stock, which is a little bit different because typically with stock, you're gonna build your scraps up and make sure your ratios are right, and you're gonna simmer or less than simmer for a full day. Seafood stock, like we would get shrimp in that needed to be peeled, like the easy peel shrimp, so the back would be split and the vein would be pulled out, and we would have to peel those. I think we had a couple different dishes. Like, it's been a long time, but some of those we had to peel. So we would have like a 6-quart full of shrimp shells and tails, raw. And I think we might have sometimes had like lobster shells for some reason. I think we might have had a stuffing that we make where we would take the lobster meat out and chop it up for a stuffed trout. So when you have these seafood shells, I could be wrong, but this is how we handle it. This is how I was taught to handle it. You would put that in the water and you would bring it up to a simmer, but you really don't want to go longer than like 45 minutes. And you would cut it out. Then you start to lose clarity and really, I don't know. I never even tested it further than that.
Yep.
So your seafood stock, you would stop short. Then you don't treat it the same, and you stop it, strain it, chill it, and then
Vegetable stock, I've also heard if you're just making a straight vegetable stock, once you go past an hour, I don't know if there's necessarily anything that's too wrong with it, but I've heard it kind of maxes out the flavor potential at an hour.
well, it could start to taste like compost.
Yeah.
In my experience, I don't think I've ever had anybody say that to me.
Yeah,
but
so
I guess that's like what I start to sense.
If you're doing bone, start the bone. I mean, let's say you got the day off, you want to make a really good soup, you wake up early, you're motivated, just start it with whatever bones you have, chicken, beef, lamb,
We didn't have any lamb soups.
So, yeah.
It's okay.
Start with the bones early in the morning, and then as your day is progressing, you're starting to notice that smell coming off of it, that good look, that sheen. That's when you can start maybe char up some vegetables, throw them in there, and they don't have to be in there very long for it to get a maximum flavor.
Well, if you're doing chicken noodle soup, and you're gonna do it proper, you're gonna start with a raw chicken carcass, like just the entire full raw chicken, and that it's just gonna create stock as you go.
Essentially, yes.
And what I would do is, if I make a chicken noodle soup, I would get my mise en place, your mirepoix, which is going to be your onion, celery, carrots. But then I would take those scraps and then then call that a mise en place for the stock. So then I would put my mirepoix in the fridge for later, and then I would have my chicken simmering in this pot of water, and I would throw bay leaves and then all of those scraps. And so I called them a mise en place because it's like a mise en place for your stock.
Or
but
rosemary, thyme, other herbs.
yeah, if you've got some fresh herbs, or even dried, in that case, it's fine, because you're not going to have any issues with like your dried rosemary getting stuck in your gums or anything if you're making a stock. Be careful, because it can get exaggerated really quick. But if you're going to go at the baseline, you should at least have your carrot scrap. You have your chicken carcass simmering for a while, and then probably about halfway through you throw in your onion ends, except the root end, and then you do your celery scraps and bay leaves, and if you have some onion, crush a couple cloves, or as many as you want really, and throw it in there, let that go. And then do your carrot peelings at the end, because there's a lot of dirt in those carrot peelings and it can start to discolor.
Yeah, I'll wash things off. I'll wash things off the best that you can. In regards of like cleanliness and just making sure that things are proper, I would say wash your vegetables, especially, just wash your vegetables in general. I think it's just a good thing to say, but yeah, and I would avoid the ends of the onions. I don't think it's really necessary. And also, why add that extra unnecessary thing that might be a contaminant?
Yeah. Also, get some peppercorn in there.
Oh yeah, whole peppercorn. Yeah. If you got some that you throw into a grinder or something, peppercorn it up, man.
Yeah, peppercorn is good for stocks.
Obviously, the whole way. I wouldn't. Would you salt your stock? Because I wouldn't.
Well, that's an argument.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
I would not.
I've had so many different stories on that, and I don't know the answer. But in general, I've just followed. You don't salt until you're ready for the flavor to be locked in.
Yeah, and then
And I don't know if there's any truth to that at all.
I don't salt my stock because I like to have more control over the salt when you're making the dishes.
Yeah.
So once it becomes a soup, once you get towards the end, then you can start salting it, and then that comes to the point where you're adding different spices, balancing things out.
That'd be like a good Alton Brown question.
Yeah.
Is where do you salt your stock? Because I've had people say if you salt your stock in the beginning, the flavors don't leach out into the broth like you want it to.
Huh.
And I don't know if that's true.
I want to take just a few seconds to tell you about our promotional partner, SNIBBS Footwear. Non-slip footwear reimagined. I can't overstate how much of a difference a great work shoe makes. SNIBBS are made by people that understand that we're out here on our feet 8, 9, 10, 11 hours a day, doing laps around the dining room, pivoting all over the kitchen. Yeah, you never know how long you're going to be at work. And, these shoes have first-in-class comfort, dynamic insoles designed to protect your joints for 1,100 miles of wear. So that means even if you're running 5 miles a day in these things, they're going to last you most of the year. They have certified non-slip soles. They have cool designs and colorways. So why go to the big box store and spend like $55, $60 on some ugly non-slips that are going to fall apart in a few months? Mm-hmm. You can go to snibbs.co/wefeedthem. That's SNIBBS.co/wefeedthem. Or you can follow the link in our description. and you can get $20 off with our promo code. Save yourself from the aches and pains. Buy a pair of SNIBBS today.
And support the podcast. Sorry, I had to pee. All right, we're back.
Yeah, here we are.
So we're going to do, we discussed in the last episode that we have a handful of little segments that we want to do. We're going to try one right now, and it's called Walking In. And I have a little bit of a description. So in this segment, Walking In, we will place an order, one dish or drink at a time. Then we will go back and forth, starting from the top until someone forgets the order. Make it complicated as you want or as simple as you'd like, but it must be one dish or one glass only. So sides and garnishes are fair game. An example would be a medium rare burger deluxe with fries and no seasoning. That's one order. Or fries with no salt. That's an order. Or just a side of ranch can be one order. So let's give it a go. Do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm pretty solid on it.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we are the servers and the customers at the same time uniquely. So, and we'll just start with the phrase walking in.
Walking in.
Yeah. You want to start or should I start?
Sure, I'll start.
Okay.
Walking in, got mozzarella sticks.
Okay. Walking in, mozzarella sticks and 2 sides of ranch.
Walking in, mozzarella sticks, 2 sides of ranch, and French onion soup.
Okay. Mozzarella sticks, 2 sides of ranch, French onion soup, and a medium rare filet mignon.
Walking in, mozzarella sticks, 2 sides of ranch, French onion soup, medium rare filet mignon. Add garlic butter.
Walking in. Shit, dude. I don't even remember. Oh, mozzarella sticks, 2 sides of ranch. Oh, I'm fucking fired, dude. What?
French onion soup.
Oh, French onion soup. Dang it, dude. I can't believe how quickly I fell off of that. That was tough. That was tough. Well, you won.
I got that unstoppable stoner brain.
Unstoppable stoner brain, dude. We feed them. That was pretty fun. Well, let's try another one. Just because we got to pilot this. We would like to do this with guests, too.
You want to kick it off this time?
Okay, yeah. I'm going to try to make it simpler just for myself. Walking in, 1 fry.
Walking in, 1 fry, a large Coke.
1 fry, 1 large Coke, and 1 Sprite.
Walking in, 1 fry, 1 large Coke, 1 Sprite, 1 burger, no cheese.
Walking in, 1 fry, 1 Sprite, 1 Coke, 1 burger, no cheese, and 13 lobster tails.
Walking in, where the fuck is this?
I don't know.
Walking in, 1 fry, 1 large Coke, 1 Sprite, I'm assuming regular. We got the 12 lobster tails. Say 12. And a burger, no cheese. Did you say 12 lobster tails?
I don't remember how many I said, but the burger no cheese was first.
Burger, no, well, I mean, you mixed up the Sprite and Coke.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it make a difference?
I don't
Walking in,
know.
1 fry, 1 large Coke, 1 Sprite, 1 burger, no cheese, 12 lobster tails.
Walking in, 1 fry, 1 Coke,
Large.
1 large Sprite, 1 burger, no cheese, 1 lobster tail, and I didn't even hear what you said. Did you add something?
No, I don't think I did. Damn, I fucked up. All right.
Well, I don't know.
Are we doing it again? Or walking in, 1 fry, 1 large Coke, 1 Sprite, 1 burger, no cheese, 1 lobster tail, we'll say, just 1 this time.
Oh.
And a Hot Pocket.
You're missing all the lobster tails. Okay, 1 fry,
12 lobster tails, whatever.
1 fry, 1 Coke, 1 Sprite, a burger, no cheese, lobster tail, a Hot Pocket, and a margarita.
Walking in, 1 fry, 1 large Coke, 1 Sprite, 1 burger, no cheese, 1 lobster tail. I forgot what I said. It's gone.
There's a Hot Pocket.
Hot Pocket. Hot Pocket. Why would that be at a...
I don't know. I think we gotta like tighten the rules on that a little bit.
Yeah.
That's really tough. That's really tight. Maybe the rules should just be like, it has to be a item.
Stick to a restaurant.
No, maybe just like an item. Because I think it almost got easier for me when it wasn't large Coke, large Sprite,
About to be the
12
fucking
Tails.
12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
12 shit.
We've played this in our kitchen, just killing time before, but we would go like, we would say, today's my first day of school. I'm going to bring a ruler.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'd go, I'm going to bring a ruler and a pencil.
I remember playing that as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the idea, but we got to make it more.
I think it's actually a good brain game, you know?
Yeah, we got to make it more restaurant-y.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll work on that one. That's fun, though. I think there's some potential there. We did last week, we did the Bow Tie Awards, which I think was really fun. There's a lot of potential for Bow Tie Awards with Jason Kuspa. If you haven't heard that, go back and check it out. It's a pretty good episode. He was our third guest, and we plan to have 17,000 more.
Yeah. Also, sorry about the audio on the last episode. If you did listen, there was a couple spots that it kind of cracked. I feel like we got a pretty good product all around. However, it was our first on location, and honestly, our mics aren't the best quality. We're trying to level up, get to a point where we can bring in a little bit of revenue, so that way we can upgrade our equipment, things like that. But I think it sounds great here, and appreciate you for checking it out and sticking through those little tiny rough moments that we had. I feel like when I listened back, there was like maybe 2 or 3 that I was like, I don't know. But other than that, I think the content in the last episode was amazing. I thought we had a
How did you listen to it?
It was just whatever you had sent me.
No, I mean, did you listen on headphones?
No,
or?
just my phone speaker.
I thought I listened on headphones, and there was 2 moments when we laughed that I thought we topped out the mics.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought I guess there were some equalization problems, but I really didn't sense personally that it was location based. I felt like it was just
Yeah, you might be right.
our levels.
I don't know. Yeah, it was. That was the only thing that popped
in
through
our
my
equipment.
mind, ran through my mind because
Yeah.
it was a different setting, and I think that things sound fine here. These are good acoustics here, and that was the only thing that crossed my mind to be like, this could be factors that might have.
Yeah. Well, we've had a couple here too where I've gone to edit and I'm just like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. This is tough. I will say, the last episode, there were some things I was a little disappointed in myself. I didn't touch on that basement. We were in the basement of Jeannie's Tavern on the west side of South Bend, and we mentioned that, but we didn't mention really that that basement is a private banquet room, essentially. And it was beautiful. That place was one of the cleanest restaurants I've ever seen, personally. And
It was a bar,
I think we did
dive bar.
mention, we did mention that the owners are really sweet and hospitable, but I guess that stage that we were sitting at, we didn't even explain why we were there, but we were on a stage that I think now is maybe just for whatever purpose somebody who's renting it wants to use, but they said they used to use it for drag shows, and maybe they still do, but I think he said we used to use it for drag shows.
There was a bar in the corner, and there was also a small kitchen. So
Yeah, there was a little kitchen down there,
old
like an open
oven.
kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. I think that we should go back and have a beer sometime and just
Right.
kind of hang out, shoot the shit.
Yeah, and I forgot, dude, I didn't pay my tab.
Oh, I didn't realize you had one.
Well, I told Jason I was going to buy him a beer and throw it on a tab, and then I left and never paid it. And he took care of it, but I still feel bad.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. Well, thank you for tuning in, and like, follow, share. Check out our website, wefeedthem.com. Consider looking at some SNIBBS shoes at snibs.co/wefeedthem. And we're trying to, I don't know if we're going to pull this off, but we're going to try to get to the National Restaurant Association food show in Chicago, which is in a few months.
Yeah.
We don't really know what capacity or what kind of content we'd pull from that, or if we're just going to go to experience it. Have you ever been?
No.
Oh, I've been. It's overwhelming. It's a lot of sales. It's just sales bombardment. But there is some really, like, if there's anything coming into the industry that you haven't seen, that's where you're going to see it. It's really cool. We're really hoping to go and bring you guys a little bit of insight, meet some people, and we'll see. And obviously, there's just a chance that we just won't go. But it's just something that we're working on.
I want to say this. If you're out there, you're listening to this, you're a fan of the podcast, maybe if you're a South Bend, Michiana native and might want to be on as a guest, reach out to us, Facebook, Instagram, leave a direct message, some kind of comment. Let us know, because we're always looking for new guests. We have a few lined up. However, there's always room, and we just want to meet cool people. We want to share your stories.
Yeah. We just want to, we want to hear your stories. We want people to hear your stories and sort of give it a place to live. All right, cool. Well, thank you, and keep on feeding them.